Hello, everyone. Come on in. Hello there. We're just going to take a minute or two to settle in together before we get started. If anyone would like to say hello in the chat, let us know where you're coming in from. It's always nice to get a sense of where we are. And I'm always interested in the weather report, but it might just on a Friday night, well, it might not be night for you, but I'm imagining there's a lot of kind of dark and cold. Candy, thank you for being first in the chat. Welcome in from London. That's great. Oh, wet and windy for you, Andrew. Thank you. Cheshire. Lovely. Nice to have a cozy night in together on a Friday night. Lovely. Warm welcome, Jane from Brighton. MN from Devon with a storm warning. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Jasmine from London as well. Great. If you're just landing with us, you haven't missed anything. We're taking a moment just to say hello to each other in the chat and settling. Lennon from a wet York, thank you. Penny in from Sussex, Karen in South Wales, Emily in Leamington, lovely. Oh, great. Thank you everyone for all these locations and weather reports as well. Thank you for that. Very nice. Emma Jane Stafford, thank you. Lots of rain, I think. And yeah. Well, I easily get distracted by all the weather reports, so I'll focus and we'll do a little bit of housekeeping and then we'll get started. So it's really lovely to be welcoming everyone to the book launch, Relational Ethics in Private Practice with Caz Binstead and Nicholas Sarantakis. So a warm welcome to Caz and Nicholas, along with everyone. It's really great to have you here for a launch and a celebration, and really looking forward to that over the next hour. Before we get started, I'll just say a couple of brief things about housekeeping as we're kind of just gathering together here. So very pleased to have Jerf and Wesley on our tech team. So thank you both for being in here to make sure everything is working well and is moving safely for us. If anybody has any tech issues, let us know in the chat if you're stuck anywhere. We're also live on the social media channel, so warm welcome to everyone who's joining us out on Facebook and X and LinkedIn and Instagram. So it's great to have you here with us as well. If anybody gets stuck in those places, you can easily email us. And Gracie is on our help desk and will be able to, will be able to give us some support too. We're very pleased to be recording this hour as well. So thank you to Caz and Nicholas for that as well. And so we can have this as a resource and a celebration to come back to. And just a reminder for everyone that Zoom is recording whoever is unmuted and speaking. So a lot of the time that's going to be Caz and Nicholas and myself. If we do have a little bit of opportunity to ask a question or make a comment on the microphone, you'll be included in the recording. And that might be your thrill of the Friday night, to be included in the celebration with Caz and Nicholas. And if for any reason there's a little piece to edit out, we can easily do that as well. Great. Oh, some lovely comments about the book in the chat already. So that's lovely. And thank you, Wesley, for getting the link to the book in the chat as well. There is a discount from Routledge available as well, 20% off. So this is a great moment to pop over there. Thank you, Jeff, for the slide on the screen as well. That it is EIA 24. So stay with us on Zoom, but you could easily pop over to the Routledge site at some point and grab your copy, and we'll also email you after the event as well. Okay. So let's get started. I think, Jeff, you're going to then spotlight Caz and Nicholas and myself. So let's get started on our book launch for Relational Ethics in Private Practice with Caz Binstead and Nicholas Sarantakis. Thank you so much for honouring us with your, well, at least one of your book launches here at Online Events. I know we've been planning this for a while, so thank you so much for allowing us to host you both for what is a really important celebration.
Thank you. Our pleasure.
Thank you, John. It's really, really lovely to be here. Obviously, you know, online events is a community platform. So yeah, just felt right being here for this event.
Thank you. Yeah, really special night and wonderful to be part of that. I think we wanted to begin by reading the blurb and your bios and then coming to you both for some conversation about the book. So shall I do that now? Is that all right? I'll begin by reading the blurb about the book. Relational Ethics in Psychotherapy and Counselling Private Practice is part of a new series on ethics edited by Professor Lynn Gabriel and Professor Andrew Reeves, and offers a hands-on approach to realistic ethical dilemmas encountered by the private practitioner. Chapters explore the fundamentals of some of the most common ethical considerations in private practice. The book provides exercises, examples, and vignettes in addition to the author's own unique working model to help the reader bring theoretical reflections into their everyday practice. This book will help private practitioners feel more confident and grounded in their private practice and up to date with developing thoughts. It will also appeal to training institutes, supervisors, and students. If that isn't a compelling introduction to the book, I don't know what is. So yes, yeah, a great blurb. Caz, let me read your bio. So Caz Binstead is an experienced private practitioner, supervisor and facilitator, visiting lecturer, specializing in the growth and maintenance of ethical and thriving practice. She was instrumental in the creation of the Private Practice Toolkit at the British Association for Counselling Psychotherapy, the BACP, and acted as divisional lead on the project. Caz is co-lead of the community platform, #Therapist Connect, and was creative director on their two-day conference, Private Practice 2021, Surviving and Thriving in Uncertain Times. Through her extensive work in this area, Caz has helped hundreds of therapists, perhaps even thousands, with their private practice. Yeah, so warm welcome, Caz. Great to have you here. And Nicholas, let's read your bio. Dr. Nicholas Sarantakis is a practicing counselling psychologist and couple, family and group therapist in London and Milton Keynes. He is the author of several academic and professional articles on psychology and psychotherapy. He has taught at 5 UK universities as a senior lecturer and director of studies. A warm welcome, Nicholas. Really wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
Online events as well. Yeah. I think we wanted to start our conversation with a question about why did you have to write this book? Like, what was the urge? Because a book is a big project and it takes so much energy. And what was it that just really compelled you? And I think, Caz, you were going to begin with some thoughts around that.
Yeah. Well, I guess probably more the question is, why hasn't this book been written before? That's something of interest to me. You know, there's a real lack of literature on private practice in general. You know, for a while there were a lot of kind of self-published books. But for me, it's kind of been, the culmination, I guess, of the last few years of work. You know, we're going to talk a little bit about a model that we use in the book, but I suppose, and that's got 3 dimensions to it, but 2 of the dimensions I was really looking at, which is client work and the ethics that goes on in, you know, that's so important in our work. And also the realities of running a private practice and how the private practitioner themselves and also their some of the tension that can sometimes happen between those two things. It's been of great interest to me, and I suppose formed the work that I did at the BACP. So it's just really, really nice to develop that work. There's a lot to think about when it comes to ethics. Nicholas and I'm an integrative therapist. Nicholas is a pluralistic therapist, and we both believe that the relationship is, the most important thing in the work, as so many therapists do. So being able to really think about ethics in a relational way, and crucially in a realistic way. So my hope for this book is that actually people will be reading it and saying, what's talked about in this book is actually very, very accurate in terms of the things that come up for private practitioners, as opposed to kind of a theoretical stance about what might come up. Our ethical frameworks, and we do refer to the BACP ethical framework, the NCPS code, the UKCP code, as well as other codes from around the world, actually. These often, we're not going to get straightforward black and white answers from these codes. So we need to be able to think about how we translate those frameworks into actually what we're doing and into ethical practice.
Thank you, Caz. Yeah, so great to hear about all the work and the experience that's went into bringing the book into fruition. And because of course, when we're running a private practice, we're running a company, really, and we often don't associate a company and ethics. So to be able to bring all
recording in progress. Recording in progress.
Nicholas, I think we wanted to come to you next to say to describe the model.
In the formal ethics code are quite and in private practice it's the private practitioner who has to do this interpret with boundaries. Second dimension, which is the client. So the client may have a specific view about what they want to get, a very useful and important in this way. And the idea is that a lot of the times when we deal with difficult ethical problems, there is a tension as perfect balance. Because if there was a perfect balance, it would be much easier to make ethical decisions. But it's not. Responsible with the support of their professional body, their supervisor. But at the end of the day, you have to weigh how important the values of each of.
If we pause there just now on the model, because I know
Yeah, absolutely. What chapters they may dip into, because I'm very confident actually that the practitioners, I was on the BACP division at the time, when the pandemic hit. And, if you'd have asked me 2 years would be as a particularly pushing, as I love the concept.
An overview of some of those chapters. Lovely. We wanted to kind of do a little bit more on,
includes also the family and